YouTube, welcome to the first episode of a new series I like to call Battle of the Backlog. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I buy a lot of video games. And it's good because, I have a nice variety of games to choose from, but it's bad because my backlog is humongous. I'm not setting out to complete every single game in my collection. I mean, to be honest with you, I think I'm always going to have a backlog, and that's okay. But there are certain games that I have right now that I've had for years, and I haven't had a chance to actually getting around to playing them. So each episode of Battle of the Backlog is going to focus on one game that I recently completed, and it's just going to be me discussing my thoughts and feelings on the game. So this episode is special, not only because it's the first episode in this brand new series, but because I just recently completed a game that I've been wanting to play for years now, and I kind of felt bad that I never actually got around to playing it. And that's Persona 4 Golden for the PlayStation Vita. And I know this just came out last year, but I never actually got around to playing Persona 4 on the PlayStation 2. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's still sealed. Right when I purchased Persona 4 for the PlayStation 2, it instantly went into my backlog, despite the fact that I was really interested in all of the things that I had heard that the story had to offer prior to its release. But it seemed like months down the line, I started hearing comments after people completed the game. They were saying it was amazing. So that kind of made me want to jump into it. But then I started also hearing that it takes forever to complete, light years to complete. And that kind of put me off. And I also heard it could be very difficult because you had to use personas and do all other types of crazy things. And I just felt like I didn't have the skill set at the time to play through the game. So it just sat in my collection. But once Persona 4 Golden was announced for the PlayStation Vita, I figured it was the sign. The gaming gods were telling me that it was time for me to play Persona 4. And I'm glad that I actually waited and got a chance to play it on a handheld system because this game is awesome. The story in Persona 4 is definitely one of the best things that the game has to offer. You play as this boy who's actually a teenager, and he's a transfer student. He used to live in the city of Japan, and he moves more or less into the countryside with his uncle and his younger cousin. So you're this teenage boy in this new environment, and you don't know anyone besides your uncle and your younger cousin, and hell breaks loose. There's murders going on. Someone's throwing victims into televisions, and that's kind of what made me really interested in this story. I mean, it's a really good murder mystery. Come to find out, a little while later, you meet up with some friends and you guys take it upon yourself to solve this mystery. And I don't want to give away any more of the story. It's simply amazing. One of the best RPG stories that I've ever played. Another thing that I really loved about Persona 4 Golden was definitely the battle mechanics. I loved getting into battles. It's a turn-based RPG, but when you're in these dungeons, you have the option of either running away from your enemies or you can just go up to them and start a battle. And I had so much fun grinding through this game, and that's something that I really don't do a lot of when I'm playing RPGs. I kind of don't like to grind, but if the battle mechanics are really good, I can totally just waste hours leveling up, and that's exactly what I did in Persona 4 Golden. The time that I spent while battling through these dungeons were really enjoyable. I thought the dungeon layouts were really good. Each dungeon had its own personality. They weren't just the same old dungeon over and over again. They were really unique things that I really enjoyed. I also liked the personas. I like that persona system, and personas are basically like summons. I enjoyed battling enemies and trying to find personas and make the essential team that would help me later down the line. I mean, I had a great time doing that as well. But believe it or not, as much as I love the story and as much as I love the battle mechanics, the thing that totally got me hooked on Persona 4 Golden was definitely all of the extracurricular activities that you could do and building social links. Oh my gosh, I had an amazing time doing that. When you're not in the alternate world and battling in dungeons, you basically live your life as a teenager. You go to school, you make social links by basically meeting people and, doing things with them, going out to eat, going to the movies, going to the beach. You can also join clubs at school. I mean, you can be in the sports club, you can be in drama, the drama club, you can be in band. I mean, The things that you can do outside of the actual like dungeon crawling is just so much fun. And because of this, I actually got attached to a lot of the characters in the game. I found myself really caring about the characters. I love the character development, and hearing their outside stories was really great. The presentation was definitely an added bonus as well. Like I said, I never played the PlayStation 2 version, but the Vita version looks gorgeous on that Vita screen, and the music was really well done. I mean, a lot of the times I had some of the songs just replaying through my head. I couldn't get it out of my mind, which meant that I had to go back and play the game some more. Persona 4 Golden definitely is golden. I mean, that subtitle totally fits this game well. Now, not only is this my favorite Vita game, but it's one of my favorite RPGs. I mean, it's definitely in that top 3. It's a fantastic game. Just everything about this game totally touched me, and I recommend it to all of you guys out there. If you haven't played this game, you should definitely try it out. I mean, it's worth it. If you're not really into RPGs, you should still try it, because everything else that surrounds this game totally is worth experiencing. You know, it's not as hard as you may think. Don't worry, because I was there. I thought it was going to be really hard and I wasn't going to be able to manage everything that I needed to manage, but that's totally not the case. Now, if you have played Persona 4 and it's been a while since you played it, you should definitely try Golden, because there's new characters in this version, there's new events, and it has this really cool online system that you can do when you're in dungeons. I mean, you're not necessarily playing co-op or anything like that, but it kind of has a feature that's similar to Dark Souls, where people can kind of leave notes and help you out when you're in a dungeon. So that's pretty cool. So that's it for episode 1 of Battle of the Backlog. Stay tuned for more videos, more Battle of the Backlog videos, discussion videos, reviews, you know, all the good stuff. So I want to thank all of you guys for watching this video, and I'll check you next time.